Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be carrying on with Rosewater. We're in the big city now. We're in, what's it called? El Presidio, that's the one. And we're in Chinatown. We've just arrived. We need to find a way to... Well, we've got two things we need to do. Find a labour union card, or sort of get the Chinese lady out of the contract she's in. I don't know too many of the details of that, but... Let's start off at this apothecary.
At least this one's partly in English. I'm guessing this is where all the medicines and herbs are stored. Nadine would know about all this stuff. I sure hope she's holding up okay.
So I do wonder if Nadine and Jake are going to rejoin at some point. I guess we'll find out.
He seems to have a very complicated order. Excuse me?
Wait your turn! Can't you see I'm helping someone already?
Geez, sorry.
Okay, so we have exits to the left and right. I mean, I don't know if that just takes us to another area of Chinatown or what, but what building... We might need to ask Danny to translate some of this stuff for us.
Danny, can you read that sign?
Yeah.
It says Society of
okay,
Open
yeah.
Arms.
So this is where the contract was with. I don't know if it's a... like a loan shark or something like that, or something else. I'm not sure.
Yeah, what is it?
Jimmy?
Danny? What are you doing back here?
Friend?
You two know
Brother?
each other?
It's been a long time.
You're telling me.
Can we come in? We need to speak to whoever's in charge.
You can, sure. Your friends are a different story.
I take full responsibility for them. They're trustworthy.
All right.
Oh, that's
I'll
kind of
take your
true now.
word.
Jake's not
Come on
with us.
in. We've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, so let's start with a look around.
A painting of a Chinese landscape. Looks like an intense game.
I mean, Harley's not going to be able to
What's
read
that
any of
banner
this.
say, Danny?
Secrets are kept within these four walls.
Here, we value the ability to mind one's own business.
Very colorful decorations they've got. These look valuable. Probably why they're kept so high up.
All right, well, let's talk to Danny, I suppose.
Hey, Danny?
Yes, Harley.
Oh, well, that's not what I want to know.
Pardon me, could we have a word?
Sure. Give us a minute, Danny.
What exactly is this place?
It's the Society of Open Arms, a social club, a place for our community to gather. We take care of our own here.
And what's your job here? Jimmy, was it?
Yeah, that's right. I do lots of things. Mostly I make sure everybody feels safe. Anything my boss asks me to do, I take care of.
Your boss, huh? Who might that be?
Nobody you need to be concerned about. You got any questions or business affairs, you talk to me.
So how are you and Danny acquainted?
We grew up together.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were like brothers. Used to play on this very street. Then he ran off with Petey and some other guys. Thought I'd never see him again. It's good to know Danny got away from that crowd. I never much liked them.
All right. Danny told me about Petey.
Doesn't surprise me. He idolized that kid. Did he say if anything happened to him?
Yeah.
They all
He was
died.
killed in a botched robbery.
Figures. That explains why Danny's not latched onto him anymore. Anyway, this is all ancient history.
Are you aware of a labor union somewhere in town?
That's not a question you want to be asking around here. Understand?
Sure. Forget I said anything. I want to talk about your contract with Mei Hui.
The laundress who works at that fancy club?
The very same. She wants out.
So she sent Danny and his friends to negotiate? That's strange. You make a deal with her or something?
We're trying to get inside the Jolly Good Club. She told us she could sneak us in if we got her out of her contract.
I see. Well, miracles do happen. If you intend to negotiate the terms of her contract on her behalf, I need you to understand exactly what you're agreeing to.
Go on.
Under Mei Hui's current deal, she donates 10% of her earnings to the club. In exchange, she gets certain benefits. She's already requested to be released from her contract. Okay, we said. We're reasonable people. All we asked was that she make a simple delivery for us first. She refused. Now you're making the same request. Okay, but precious time has been wasted here. The price has gone up. Now it's 2 jobs.
What kinds of jobs exactly?
Both still simple. The delivery is one. But first, I need you to run another errand. I have this valuable timepiece, unfortunately damaged and in need of repair. Take care of that, then we can discuss the delivery.
What happened to this watch?
A little disagreement. Someone got upset and threw it against the door over there. It smashed open. I collected all the pieces I could.
Where am I supposed to get this watch repaired?
There's a pawn shop at the wharf.
Oh, okay.
Lady
Yeah,
who
we know
runs
that.
it fixes things too.
I'm new in town. What's to know about El
Just to see if he gives us any
Ask
other
Danny.
location
He'll tell
tips.
you all you need to know.
Okay, thanks for answering my questions.
My pleasure.
Okay. Let's just go straight to back to the pawn shop then. I mean, we know where it is, so we can do that. I'm going to exit this side just in case there's other places here in Chinatown, but I don't think there will be, no. Not sure what there was to do at the park. I can't remember what that is. That's the Jolly Good Club, isn't it? Okay, so let's go to the wharf. We could probably ask around here for the labour union as well. Maybe the pawn shop lady. There's also the guys at the actual wharf.
What do you need?
Do you know anything about a labor union in town?
I think there is one, but I don't pay them any mind. I'm my own boss, and I don't have any employees, so it doesn't matter to me.
I was wondering if you could have a look at this watch. It needs repair.
Where did you get this?
Does it matter?
Yes. I've seen this watch before. Someone from the Tong gave it to you, didn't they?
The what?
That place in Chinatown, the Open Arms Society, or whatever they call themselves. I already told them I wasn't interested in their business. They can send as many proxies as they like. It's not gonna change my mind.
So you won't fix this watch?
Nope.
So what am I supposed to do?
My advice would be to stop dealing with those people. But if you're hellbent, I could sell you a repair kit and you can do it yourself.
All right, how much for the repair kit?
You're gonna do it, huh? 4 crowns.
Yep, we can do
Your
that.
funeral.
Sold.
Here you are. Pleasure doing business. And I'm in no way responsible for whatever happens next. Just to be clear.
Appreciate the help.
Sure.
It sounds potentially difficult. Why don't we save, just in case something irreparable happens. Call it watch repair. Right, let's have a look. So, I guess we select repair? Okay, okay. So, I guess that one probably there. Yeah, so I don't have anywhere to kind of make a bridge between these.
This gear won't fit there. Think this is the main gear controlling the mechanism.
Oh!
Okay, this doesn't look too tough. Just have to place the right gears in the right spots.
There we go. Okay. Well, let's take these out because they were kind of placed a bit randomly. So we know, well, we know that big one doesn't fit there. Good. This one.
This gear won't fit.
Seems to fit. Seems to fit. I think this big one probably had, well, pop it there. Yeah, that's clearly not going to work. Okay.
This gear won't fit.
It's kind of, what is my endpoint? 'Cause I don't have enough gears for everything. And, you know, I don't know. Let's just no, that's not what I wanted. Let's see what happens when we wind it now. I mean, there's that. Okay, so that one doesn't turn. I need that one. That one's not going to turn. So what do we need to get turning? So I've only got 4. Well, I've got 5, but there's 4 more and 5 more screws. Okay, so where can this one go? Well, it can go here. And well, that will turn. Okay, so that should turn all 3 of those, right? And that. Okay, that won't turn that. But they all turn. That turns. But then this one is just out on its own. I don't have another wheel. Like, I wish I had a diagram or something just to, like, because, like, it feels we've got to make a choice in terms of endpoint of the watch, right?
Think this is the main gear controlling the mechanism.
Where is the mechanism? I'm just seeing if there's anything else I have to remove to kind of see. Like, where we need to end up, you know? So that doesn't really work anywhere.
This gear won't fit.
Works there. That's not going to work.
This gear won't.
See, that's not working. I feel like it's impossible to get this one working here. Which would kind of mean the only place it can go is there. that's not quite.
This gear won't. This gear. This gear.
It goes there. It's not going to do anything. I don't think that's going to turn that either.
This gear won't.
Probably done this combo already, but...
This gear won't. This gear.
This can only really go in these two places. That one can go there. Okay, okay. Suddenly that's no point to that though. I mean, now that works, but like...
This gear won't.
I mean, all these are working. But I've got this one that doesn't do anything. Well, let's just wind this. That's as much as I can get going at one time.
Think this is.
I might pause here and have a little play because... Yeah, I don't know.
A large silver. A medium. A medium. A small. I'll need to turn this to get the.
Yeah. I'm going to pause here while I just have a little play with this a bit more. Like, this feels like as much as I can get in place at one time to move. We have this screw that's not doing anything. I can't move that one there. It doesn't. I mean, I could, but it doesn't do anything. I mean... So yeah, let me pause here. Okay, I looked at the Steam forum just to see if anyone else was talking about it, and there's a missing gear, is the upshot. We need to go back to Chinatown to look for it. I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, there's clearly something missing, isn't there? So let's exit that. Let's go back to Chinatown then. We'll try and find the missing gear, because it's an insoluble puzzle until then. I'm going to go to the wharf, though, and just ask these guys about... Oh, hang on. How'd you get to the wharf? Oh, maybe it was up this way. Just ask those two people over there about the Labour Union, see if we can get a location for that too.
Hello again.
Good evening to you, miss.
I'm trying to locate a labor union in town. Do you know anything about it?
Depends who's asking.
I am a stranger.
A stranger should be assisted. Take this pamphlet. It'll help.
I can't remember we
Thanks.
saw that weird
I'll
thing
be
about
off.
the
If
stranger.
you need fruit, you know where to find me.
But it suddenly...
I'm open all night.
It suddenly seemed like that might be the right thing to say. But anyway, what does this say? Labourer, you have begun the first steps on the path to unity and protection. To commence your initiation to the masters of the plough, you must locate another labourer. Give them the password and they will ask for a sign. Form the sign of identification. You will be given instructions to find our meeting place. Sign of identification. Rub the back of your left hand across your forehead. This signals you will earn... Yeah, okay. So shall I do that with this guy?
Sorry, I don't...
I haven't.
So... Let's locate another labourer. Give them the sign. Okay. Well, it's not this guy, clearly. We don't need to talk to her now, I don't think, because we kind of know what we're looking out for. Ish. So yeah, it smashed against the wall by the door. I didn't see anything there, but there must be something around here. Maybe we can search now. That looks like a gear.
Damn. Can't reach in there.
So
There's a hole between the floorboards. It seems to be full of mouse poop. Yuck. Somebody dropped a crown between these floorboards.
Steal it.
I can't reach between.
Okay, do I have anything? That's the repair kit, isn't it? I mean, I've got the lockpicks, but that's probably not going to help.
Carefully now.
Oh, maybe it is.
Got
They've
it.
got little hooks on,
Put it
haven't
with
they?
The other loose gears.
There we go.
No
what about
good.
this? Okay, maybe. Don't know if they're maybe a magnet. I don't know if they're magnetic or not. Right, let's try this again. Okay, so let's remove the cover.
Okay. This doesn't look too tough. Just have to place the right gears in the right spots.
So we've got this much bigger one now, so that seems to me that's probably a good candidate for that. Still not moving either of those. I wonder if that goes more like there. That looks like that's moving that now. I think that probably has a little one. That looks alright. Try there.
This gear won't fit.
Ooh. Then I got this little one here that's not going to do anything, right? Oh yeah, that's not touching anything, that one now. Kind of missed that. Okay, I think the bigger ones are probably in the right place. Or are they? They might not be.
This gear won't.
I take this one out. Okay, that is good. So I think the little one probably does go there. I guess the slightly bigger one there. And this one there. So that should work.
Ha! It works.
Sweet. Okay, let's give that back to the dude.
I got your watch fixed.
Good job. Wait here a minute.
Feeling back at home yet?
More than I'd like to, frankly.
Here you are. Deliver this to the building at Gull Street between Harbor and Iglesia. Do not open this box under any circumstances. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Come back here once you've finished. And remember, time is of the essence. Don't dawdle.
We've been asked to deliver this box to someplace on Gull Street between Harbor and Iglesia. I hear ticking. Must be the pocket
Oh, it's
watch.
a bomb. I don't want to deliver a bomb. What is this? Oh, that's Clark's journal, isn't it? What else have we got?
February 9th, Clark, you will
Okay,
It's signed.
P.S.
Okay. So we know where Gull Street is.
Harley, I do not wish to alarm you, but I am rather certain that the box you are carrying contains a bomb.
Yeah.
Damn. I hoped I was imagining things.
What do you think, Danny? Have we been tasked with these people's dirty work?
It would certainly fit their methods.
So what do we do?
Well, I could attempt to disarm the bomb.
All
Yeah,
right,
do it.
but be careful.
I always am.
Boom.
There. Facile.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Now we will not have innocent blood on our hands.
So maybe we still deliver the bomb. It just won't go off. We want Gull Street. I can't remember where Gull Street was, but it is around. Gull Street. So Gull Street is this vertical one, isn't it? Yeah, so it's corner of Gull and something. It might be further south, of course.
We've been asked to deliver this box to someplace on Gull Street between Harbor and Iglesia.
Okay, well let's try down this way. We'll try and find either of those two other streets. Was it Harbour Avenue?
We've been asked to deliver...
Harbour and Iglesia. Okay, so this is Gull, this is Harbour, so this Iglesia? Yeah, so it must be around here.
Well now, what have we here?
Oh, they're warring with the trade union. This is going to be the trade unionists, isn't it? Well, we might be able to get what we need from here.
A slew of advertisements plastered on the wall.
We know the secret signal to give now.
Yes?
Special delivery. I've brought you a package.
Who sent it?
No return address. We're just the messengers.
Odd. Leave it on top of the crate to your left.
He didn't ask for it.
That's that, I guess.
That was a lot easier than I was expecting.
Won't hear me complaining.
Okay, well, doesn't seem like anything else is going to be happening there for the time being. I might go back to the VP Petrol while we're here, because we've got that letter to deliver to them as well, and there might be something interesting in here. Unless she just talks to us.
Welcome back, Miss Leger.
We can't actually look at anything. No, that's fine. So this is the letter, isn't it? So let's give that to her. The guy who fell off the oil derrick fairly early on in the series.
I have this letter from one of your employees I've met on the way here.
Thank you for delivering it. Here's 5 crowns for your trouble.
Hooray, we're a postman now. Alright, well, what are we looking at? Yeah, so I was wondering about this thing. What is it?
Interesting rock.
It's a lodestone. Highly magnetic.
Magnetic. We can get a
imagine
coin.
the invisible lines of power radiating out all around it.
Sounds useful. Can
Would
we
you
borrow
mind
it?
if I borrowed your lodestone?
I'll trust it's for a good purpose. Just be sure to return it.
I promise I'll hand it back to you, along with Dr. Clark.
Well, so we got just the view and her. Okay, I think we go. So we've got some money. I'm going to go back to Chinatown as well. I mean, we need to go back there anyway and say job done. But we can also try and get that crown out of the floorboards. You might think of it as small change, but you know, every little bit counts, right? Can I? Oh.
Nice. I'm 1 crown richer.
Woohoo! Oh, my dog going mad outside. Sorry about that if you can hear it. Yeah, job done,
Pardon me,
guy.
can we have
It's
a
not going
word?
to explode,
Sure.
but
Give us a minute, Danny.
we've delivered some dynamite to that
We delivered the
labor
package.
union.
Excellent. Maybe now those smug union bastards will learn their lesson. Here, take this to Meihui. It's a letter releasing her from her contract with us.
Thanks. Okay, thanks for answering my questions.
My pleasure.
Okay, let's head. I mean, before we head back to Meihui, my main thing I'm wondering is, like, there's a park here? There's all, I mean, there's going to be other areas. There's probably other things to do in this city that I don't know about yet. But we probably have to know their actual location before we find them. I mean, how far across does it go? Okay, that's actually the extremity. Let's just drop by the park, because I can't remember if we were told anything about it and what we were told if we were. What we got? We got this guy.
The park's closed at night.
I don't know if there's a day or night cycle or whether the whole thing is at night.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Why are you standing around the park at night?
I'm waiting for someone.
Can you tell me about El Presidio? I'm new in town.
You don't say. This city has plenty to offer. It depends on what you're seeking.
Do you know anything about the Jolly Good Club?
Only that I could work 1,000 years and still not have enough money to be a member.
Would you happen to be familiar with Dr. Bennett Clark?
The mad inventor who blew up the Lamplight City Expo with his illegal doomsday weapon a few years back? Never heard of him.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, I guess we leave. There might be something to do here later. I mean, it is like a named location, isn't it? I'm wondering if there's anything sort of in this kind of quadrant. It's quite cool that you have to like locate things. Like you're given an address and you kind of have to sniff it out. I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, we want to go back to. Oop, clicked on accident. Back to the Jolly Good Club. I don't know if we have to do things for both of the employees before we are allowed in, or whether it was a case of, you know, either or. But in this case, we've got this.
Here you are, ma'am.
You're no longer in debt to the Society of Open Arms.
Oh, is it true? Thank you so much. I had a feeling I could count on you.
So, about getting inside?
Yes, of course. I can sneak you in on my laundry cart. But it's not big enough to fit all three of you.
I think my friend Harley will be the one going in then.
Yeah. Fine. I take her through the door that leads to the club library. I think there's a presentation tonight, so most of the men will be distracted. Your friend should be able to sneak around undisturbed. But make sure she doesn't get caught. And if she does, you never met me.
Understood. Thanks for your help, ma'am. Okay, Harley, you're going in. Just climb inside the laundry cart.
This had better be worth it. Now to find Clark. The letter said he'd be staying in this L person's suite. So who and where is that?
Okay, so we've got... Oh, wow. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to look at. Let's look at it.
Volumes and volumes of books. Nothing particularly noteworthy, though. Display cases with different exhibits. Haven't got time or inclination to study them. This club's membership has felled many an antlered beast. A stuffed bird. The plaque says it's called a dodo. How odd.
When did the dodo go extinct? Would they still have been around by now? I think maybe they
Various
were.
Various
Either
pharaohtypes
extinct
of rich
or on the way
people
out.
Enjoying themselves. Suppose they need to prove how happy they are. So many butterflies. I wonder if these could actually be used in combat. A nondescript landscape, not very well executed. I imagine most of the folks in here are great admirers of Mr. Atwood. After all, he always did make a point of standing up for the great big rich guy.
Those who need it most.
Pharaohtype showing a bunch of men outside the club. The plaque says opening day. A painting of a cafe. Looks like somewhere in Europe. There's various exhibits in these cases. Mostly old coins and trinkets brought back from who knows where. I wonder how long it would take to read every one of these books, and if any of them are worth it. There's a plaque above all those portraits that says In Memoriam. Seems these are former club members. Edgar Whitmire, founder of the Jolly Good Club. It's a list of club members.
Let's see if Clark's in there. So this is by first names. Do we know his first name? B, isn't it? Kind of looking down to see if I can see Clark. God, how many pages are there? It's probably just one more. This is either going to be developers' names, or game supporters, or something that will be relevant later, I guess. Yeah, let's head out here for now. Okay, so what's going on the stage?
As you see, gentlemen, my analysis was correct. The region is absolutely ideal for the formation and preservation of
So it should be the one
fossils.
that we
Though
helped,
I
yeah?
have so far recovered only a small part of what I believe still lies out there. I was able to partially reconstruct the dinosaur skeleton you see before you. Quite a fearsome beast, isn't he? This ancient lizard, which I have christened the Eremosaurus, probably roamed the lands near the San Bernardo Valley over 72 million years ago.
This is fascinating, but I'd better get a move on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the archaeologist we helped out. Who's this?
General Lancaster Bevins, 1770 to 1832. Stern-looking fellow. He's got a medal on his chest with 4 stars on it.
I'm actually going to look at the journal because I missed... She said something about the suite that we're looking for, and I forgot what it was. Now let's find the suite with Dr. Clark said. The one belonging to the mysterious L. So is that the person who sent in the letter?
February Clark, I have a business. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly. You will be furnished with a
It's signed.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your...
L. Okay, well let's go back down to the membership book. Someone either with the first name L or the second name L. So first name L would be these 4 guys. Probably not the sergeant. Probably the professor, Lemuel Lem Barnett, I would imagine. If I had to guess whether the banker, the professor, the MP, or the sergeant, I would guess the professor, Lemuel Barnett. So we'll keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to look through for all the... it's organised alphabetically by first name, so let's assume it's that. Plus, if you were signing off a letter with an initial, it would be your first name, wouldn't it? So let's read the nameplates and see if we can locate that one.
That.
His nickname was Lem.
Ham. Archie.
Aurum Star members, 1850. So that's the current year.
Jovial-looking fellow. Either that or he's got a secret. He looks bored, but I would be too if I had to stand perfectly still for that long. I've never understood men who grow beards without mustaches. This man's got a vacant expression. Wonder what he was thinking about. What a sourpuss. I don't think I'd like to get on his bad side. Why is that man pointing at a skull? Does he think it makes him look mysterious? He's wearing a medal shaped like a leaf.
This is going to be a clue to something as well, isn't it? He's the 4-star
The insignia
general.
on his shoulder shows 4 stars.
So that's to do with the statue that we saw.
Fancy ring. Probably worth a few hundred crowns.
Wonder how where this comes in terms of relevancy.
Kit.
Let's keep going. I don't think it's alphabetical.
Chan. Warm air is coming from the grate. They must have that indoor steam heating I've read about. Lige.
It's not it.
Willie. Barnabas Jordan, 1801 to 1845. Ned.
The end of the line.
Finney.
Is it this one?
Sigh.
No.
We've only been in El Presidio.
It was none of them.
Warm air is coming from the grate.
I've got to go back all the way. Okay, look, I'm going to skip. Okay, I'll look at this portrait in case it's relevant.
Mrs. Edgar Whitmire. I bet she's never set foot in this place either.
Alright, let's have another look at this guy's name.
General Lancaster Bevins, 1770 to 1832.
Evans. It's not him, but it could be like a descendant. Okay, well, of the go back to the L's. None of these guys was one of the nameplates, I don't think. This picture looks like one of the ones in that portrait.
Whitmire, founder of the Jolly Good Club.
All right, okay, so he was in that portrait.
There's a plaque above all those.
Why is that relevant? I don't know. Is there a... Okay, I'm going to look for surnames that begin with L. We saw Bat. There's Lothar, Langham. I didn't see either of them. There was Lily. No Don though, I don't think. Leroy? Happy? I didn't see Happy. Hank, I didn't see Jojo. Newt, don't think I saw. Oh, I don't think I saw that. Willie. We saw Willie. And he's a general. So that 4-star thing, possibly. I'm going to have to read the letter again.
February Clark, I have a business proposal. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My
military
Star
rank.
Membership and military. You will be furnished with a comfort.
It's signed.
P.S. You needn't have any concern.
Yeah, I think that's him. So it's the Willy room, so to speak. It wasn't here, but I'm going to have to read the nameplate again because I can't remember exactly where it was.
Ham. Archie. Kit. Chan. Lige. Willie.
It's this one, I think.
Locked, of course.
Alright, so I'm going to read her journal about the locks. It's one of these, I think. The key stays still, the diamond shines, turn up just once, and then down, up 1, and then down 3. Okay. So we haven't used the lockpicks before, so this might... I don't know quite how technical these get.
Nothing to it.
Not at all, is the answer. I thought there might be like a mini game or something, seeing as they each had like a little clue.
This must be Laporte's room, and there's the safe.
Okay, what do we got here?
Can't believe I've been wearing the same clothes nearly 2 weeks now. It's got
Imagine we're
several
looking for a
drawers,
code.
and the top is surprisingly clean. Nothing. This desk hasn't been used in a while. A still life of some fruit and flowers. Hotel art. Strange device. Something to do with the planets. It's still early in the evening. I hope we can locate Clark before morning. I found a crumpled note. Better take it.
Hopefully a safe combination. Let's have a look.
General Laporte, as per your request, we have provided your suite with a safe. The combination is 12 right, 9 left, 5 right. Please share this information only with those you trust. Management.
Okay. Andy?
Not too different from the one at our hotel. Nothing hidden in the sheets. The wild frontier. This has been one hell of a journey. A few suits.
Alright, so let's do this then. It's 12 right. It's 9 5.
Fantastic. All right, let's see what we've got here. Some kind of wooden card? Better hang on to it. And another journal, but not Clark's. Uh-oh, sounds like the presentation's wrapping up. I'd better make myself scarce.
And who might you be?
Me? Why, I'm Harley Leger. What's your name?
My, I don't think I've ever met such a friendly burglar.
Burglar? What are you talking about?
This is a members-only club, and you clearly aren't a member. Therefore, I can only assume that you must have broken in. Your intent was to steal something, I suppose?
I just came in here looking for someone.
Oh, looking for whom?
Well, it's not you, so really, why should it matter?
You're quite clever. Very well, you can go. Let it not be said that General Laporte can't be merciful. But if I ever see you in here again, I won't be so lenient. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you find him?
I think so, but let's get out of here. Now, let's see what's in this diary I found.
Goodness, okay, well let's read this. November 22nd, 1844, so this is 6 years ago. The soldier is not a political animal. His sole concern is to determine how to achieve the objectives he has been given. With all the resources he can muster, the motives behind the order, the whys and wherefores are not his to question. That is politics, and it is for politicians. But a soldier is also a private citizen of his republic. He is endowed with a vote and a voice, and may, indeed must, use all his faculties of discernment and discretion in the exercise thereof. As a citizen, he may be rightfully interested in national affairs and moved to do all that is within his power to deflect a march towards ruin. Any less would be a dereliction of his patriotic duty. I write this not as a soldier, but as a concerned citizen. Indulging the basest populist fears, Leroy is pursuing a Labourite agenda of anti-tech appeasement that will shackle the productive capabilities of this country for generations. The inevitable result will be an economic depression and want of military readiness that will put us at the mercy of our enemies and render us a permanently dependent, withered, and diseased appendage of the crown. Steam tech and its even more potent successor, aethericity, are the engines that will power our prosperity and military might. If we do not pursue these technologies with all robustness, we may be assured that others will. Both as a citizen and as a soldier charged with the defence of our Commonwealth, I cannot stand idly by and watch our future destroyed. June 12th, 1847. So I think this is post the explosion, aethericity explosion thing that Dr. Clark caused. I think. It's around that time. An infant industry is poised to be strangled in its crib, and its genius father must suffer his reputation to be torn to tatters, all because of a single unfortunate accident. I refer, of course, to the incident at the Lamplight City Expo, which Leroy has seized upon as an opportunity to decry the intolerable dangers of the whole aetheric project and agitate for a total ban. The way of progress was never smooth, but after stumbling over the first pebble in the road, a timorous populace now wrings its hands in hysterical anguish. Political opportunists now rush to coddle simple minds by vying to introduce the most stringent measures yet proposed. These men are ignoramuses, or is it ignorami, who cannot see the potential in what Dr. Clark has wrought. The nation that first tames the unbridled power of aethericity will be the unrivaled leader of the world, and need genuflect to no potentate. Vespuccia needs an aetheric project of her own, not subject to the whims of politics or commerce, and Dr. Clark is just the man to carry it through. He must not be allowed to succumb to the passing winds of ill favour. So, next month. Fort Beaumont is a conveniently situated outpost out of the way of common traffic, yet close enough to the rail terminus in the town of Rosewater. Close by in the San Bernardo Valley is a village of indigenous people who might be kept in a state of sufficient aggravation and agitation to render the fort an indispensable bulwark against them. As none may dispute that certain campaigns of suppression emanating from Fort Beaumont must therefore be waged, a 5-fold increase in its annual allotment of material to fund such operations will provoke no complaint. So basically, we'll probably get to his reasons, but they wanted the fort to be given extra supplies, supposedly to deal with the indigenous population, but they were quite peaceful. They weren't doing anything. So, but they were still sending the supplies to Fort Beaumont. However, I cannot work with Captain Mayhew. He is principled and proud and will not be susceptible to the usual inducements. A tour patrolling the Laurentian border will provide him an ample opportunity for the honourable and distinguished service he craves, far from here. As for a replacement, there is in Clayton Creek a certain Lieutenant Stokes, presently facing summary court-martial on charges of disorderly conduct and public drunkenness, after causing the death of a local in some dispute over a woman of low virtue. It happens that Stokes descends from an old military family. His grandfather, no less a man than Colonel Remington Stokes, lost his life in the pacification skirmishes that ultimately civilized Dixie. Consequently, the lieutenant harbours no love for savages and a strong aversion to any stain of dishonour upon his distinguished family name. In gratitude for the dismissal of charges and a promotion to captain, such a man would prove exceptionally complacent. March 3rd, 1850, that's this year. The first cup of water given to a man rescued from a shipwreck at sea tastes as sweet as the finest wine. How much sweeter, then, the finest wine must be, accompanied by steak and lobster, and followed by a quantity of port and good cigars. Dr. Clark has accepted the hospitality of my club and given ear to my entreaties. I have impressed upon him the need for utmost discretion. In return, he will be at liberty to continue his research here, sheltered from disturbance and wholly provided for in the smallest detail. It is an offer that no man in his position could possibly refuse. All has been arranged on Gannett Island at no small expense, and the facility is ready to receive its chief researcher. Preparations were underway well in advance of his acceptance. Had Dr. Clark proved unwilling, another expert, less proficient and likely less tractable, would have to have been procured. It is for the better that such contingencies were not necessary. With Dr. Clark leading the effort, Project Rosewater can commence imminently. Rapid progress is expected. When my country is ready to sup on the fruits of this labour, she may well thank me for my foresight.
Clark's not at the club anymore, but I found out who invited him to El Presidio, an army general named Laporte. He's got Clark on Gannett Island working on some secret operation called Project Rosewater.
Project Rosewater?
No idea what it is, but it's the whole reason Laporte brought Clark here.
Wait a minute. Remember those crates on the army supply wagon? The ones marked Rosewater? They weren't going to the town of Rosewater. I bet they were coming here for Project Rosewater.
Of course. Fort Beaumont was just a waypoint. It sure seemed like a lot of stuff for one little outpost in the middle of nowhere.
So, the night deliveries, the Orem bars.
Something big is going on here. We need to have a talk with Shaw.
Miss Leger, have you any news?
Clark's been moved to Gannett Island.
Gannett Island? There's nothing there, just a crumbling fort and lighthouse.
Have you heard of an army general named Laporte? Or something called Project Rosewater?
Neither. Go on.
There's clearly something much bigger at play here. This quest has run us afoul of some very dangerous people. If you expect us to get Clark for you, I want to know why you want him so badly.
Very well. Imagine airships, engines, furnaces, powered not by petroleum and coal, but by ethericity, an infinitely renewable energy source
she's going to want to
that comes
silence
from
him.
The sky itself, clean, efficient, and economical.
Because it would put her out of
You run
business.
an oil company.
I run an energy company, Miss
Okay.
Leger. Energy takes many forms.
Wants to monetize
With
it,
Dr. Clark in my employ, we can lay the groundwork now for a pivot from oil to ethericity. Once the benefits become apparent, the market will clamour for clean, safe, etheric energy. And only one company will be equipped to meet that demand on day one. Mine.
What about the ban?
Bans are imposed by governments, and governments change, Miss Leger. Not everyone supports Leroy's technophobic policies. The Labourites are barely hanging on. It's not just Atwood's trade party that would like to see etheric advancement back on the table. Royalists, justice, pioneers, even the Christian Union would all get on board. In these fractious times, ethericity has the potential to be a great uniter. Change is just over the horizon. But enough politics. You know where Clark is. Go get him. Best of luck. Yeah, before you go, my lodestone.
Oh, sure. Here.
Thank you.
We got a whole crown out of it. Okay, so I just checked the time of the video. I think it's a good place to stop, but I'm just going to get to the wharf because I imagine we want to charter a ship to go to the island, and we know where to do that from. That's up here. But we'll probably leave it here. So what I'll do is I'll sign off when we're on the right screen. So we'll sign off. We're going to talk to this lady and charter a ship, I imagine. Hopefully we've got enough money to cover it. We have been saving a bit. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll read a bit more of Harley's journal, and for those who wish to stay and listen to it. But for those who don't, thanks very much for watching this far. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, if you could hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. Do leave a comment as well. Let me know what you think about the game and series, and I hope to see you next time. But for those who are staying with us, let's move on. So it's picked up at the same place we left off last time. On the road at last. We're off with the first faint tendrils of dawn at our backs. We head west for El Presidio on the trail of the elusive Dr. Clark. Our driver seems to know her business up and down and has no end of rules. Miss Johnson laid it down in no uncertain terms that, while on the road in this wagon, we are as sailors at sea, and she our captain absolute. I don't think Jake much liked this usurpation of his natural authority, but provided we don't get ourselves booted off, I think we'll get where we're going. We have but a few days' travel before us, through the desert and mountains to reach the coast. I'm rather looking forward to getting a better view of this part of the country. Perhaps the journey will furnish some detail or two of interest to write down for Joni later. And should the scenery lack for diversion, I suppose I'll have recourse in the fellowship of my new travelling companions. Now that we've assembled in this unlikely venture, perhaps it's time we got to better know one another. A lonely oil derrick. We stopped near a Vespuccia petrol drilling site, a solitary derrick with just one man to operate it, a fellow transplant from Lamplight City, who also felt some hankering to wander westward. How well prepared he is for the trade I cannot state with assurance, for we weren't there but a matter of seconds before he came tumbling down from his contraption and got tangled up in his rope, dangling over a steep drop into the pit below. We scrambled to assist and managed to get the fellow lassoed and dragged to safety. Jake showed off a heretofore unsuspected adeptness with throwing knives. I do wonder how the man will fare out here on his own. We left him perhaps a little rattled, but in almost unreasonably good spirits. A most curious fellow. A purportedly curative wellspring. A dastardly confidence trickster of the lowest sort, name of Aubrey Trout, has set up a strange kind of racket beside a freshwater spring in the desert. He claims the waters will bring youth and vitality, and cure all kinds of ailments. But he's not selling it. Instead, he invites all and sundry to come taste these miraculous waters for free. These promised wonders are supposedly due to some confidence of etherically sensitive minerals that imbues the stuff with fantastical properties. The usual hogwash. I'm no scientist, but if aethericity can really work even half the miracles that capture the imagination of all these dabblers and mystics, we must all be on track to living like immortal wizards and gods very soon. Still, we have just seen with our own eyes the remarkable effects of aethericity on vegetable matter, at least, so who's to say for certain it couldn't do the same for us? Professing an improbably advanced age, belied by his looks, Mr. Trout swears the water confers a superhuman strength on those who drink it. By way of demonstration, the fellow proceeded to bend, or seemed to bend, a solid bar of metal with his bare hands. It certainly made for an impressive bit of stagecraft. Jake might look into adopting something like it to wow the crowds at his next show. In truth, the spring is tainted with a poison of some kind that'll knock whoever's gullible enough to take a sip sideways, just long enough for Trout to strip them clean of valuables. Jake was raring to become the fellow's next mark, but I convinced him to hold his horses long enough to turn up tangible proof of what should have already been plain to see. With some creativity on Jake's part, we taught the scoundrel a lesson and left him for the next travellers to deal with. But before that little escapade, Jake took me aside to set things clear between us, and he gave me the chance of airing any misgivings about our little venture. Nothing came to mind worth putting forth, but it made me wonder what he was expecting to hear. banks of a high-flowing creek. Danny saved a life today. The courage on that kid is something else. I know I surely did not have it in me, and how I know is that I was left standing on that bank with Jake, mouths agape and thumbs a-twiddling, while Danny plunged headlong into a raging creek after a fool whelp who fell out of a tree and was damn lucky not to have his brains dashed out on a rock then and there. The current was fierce, but Danny somehow kept hold of the boy long enough for us to drag them both back to shore, safe and sound. The mantle of hero rests uneasily on Danny's shoulders, and he shies from praise as if from a blow, but in the short time I have known him, his instincts have not often been amiss. If nothing else, perhaps this adventure proved he ought to heed them more. A thoroughly perforated patch of desert. We met a lady scientist, a Miss or Mrs. Amber Lee, digging many holes in the sand in fervent pursuit of the bones of giant lizards from long ago. She called this activity paleontology and entreated to hire us, offering cash in exchange for a few hours' painstaking labour with shovels and little brushes. She explained that she's due to give a presentation on her findings at none other than the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio, which we saw a bit of. Anxious of her reception, the reactionary snobs there not particularly relishing intelligent female company, she yearns to prove the seriousness of her endeavours with a suitably impressive discovery. She has grand visions of cobbling together a whole creature of whatever bits she can unearth. So we didn't get a whole creature. I think I accidentally destroyed some of the evidence before I kind of worked out how to do the thing. But she had a partial skeleton, so I think it was at least somewhat successful. We turned up a few pieces I hope she can use. At least we got a little money for it, and a few little treasures to the bargain. A safe harbour in a sudden storm. With a nasty dust storm threatening to blow us all over, at Miss Johnson's urging, we have sought refuge at the only human habitation for miles around, a tidy farmhouse kept by a retired sea captain, name of Boylan. It seems Captain Boylan has traded the close, damp quarters of a life at sea for far drier and sparser environs. The house itself is a veritable nautical museum, every part studded with maritime gewgaws and curios from the world over. I cannot imagine our host's frequent occasion to receive guests, but his gracious welcome struck me as quite sincere, even enthusiastic. We've been invited to shelter for the night and join him for dinner, in the preparation of which I, Danny and Nadine have volunteered to assist. We'll get to the end of the Captain Boylan section in the journey. Our stay at Captain Boylan's farmhouse was anything but dull. The evening began pleasantly enough with a simple meal of potato stew followed by drinks before the fire. Phil revealed to us his musical talents when Captain Boylan made him a gift of a handsome new Spanish guitar. Later that night, we learned that our seemingly jovial host was a sufferer of fierce nocturnal disturbances. Turning the house upside down, we at last discovered him holed up in a secret attic shrine dedicated to the memory of a ship lost at sea, of which he was the sole survivor. Having failed in his duty to go down with his ship, he has, it seems, been a haunted man ever since. Nadine diagnosed his strange, trance-like condition and guided us in an attempt to draw him out of it, through a form of hypnosis, by assuming the guises of the doomed crew. I cannot say for sure whether we truly helped him for good and all, but he seemed himself again when he saw us off this morning. I do believe he was truly lonely in his self-imposed exile, and grateful for even the brief company we offered. He also entrusted us with a letter to be delivered to the widow of his first mate in El Presidio. After travelling half the day, we've stopped for a brief rest, and Nadine has asked me to accompany her on an excursion to the desert. For what purpose, I shall soon learn. Okay, so maybe we'll leave it there for now. I mean, there's loads more, and I'm wondering how many more episodes there'll be, because it feels like we're catching up to Clark, but at least a couple more, I would imagine. So I'll hopefully catch up in the journal stuff by then. But for those who have made it this far, thanks even more for doing so. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, again, if you could hit that like button and leave comments, that's always very gratefully received on both counts. And if you're watching this and not yet subscribed to the channel, if you could do that too, that'd be amazing. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.